alphabetical order this time. That way it's just right, simple. That way I'm not, like, forgetting anybody. Like, I know who all I've done and whatever. So, I'm also doing alphabetical order, so Penguin is, like, second to last. Anyways. You guys want to get started? I'm actually an ant. Oh, you're antsy. I get it. Okay. You guys ready? Starting out with Arizona State and our boy Gravy. Thanks for doing this again. Earl, you're so welcome. I love doing this for you guys. It makes it seem real. So I'm last. Unfortunately, yeah. Because I don't want to have to forget who I haven't done. So we're oh, wait. Skip down to me and make Penguin last. I can do that. I can for sure do that. That is not a problem at all. So Smitty will be second to last. You're the man. Thank you, guys. Finally, I'm on my 5th beer. You got in here like 2 minutes ago. Arizona State in the Big 12 opening up at Illinois and then taking on Segundo. I believe that's how you say his name. At home. Arizona State with Gravy, fresh back in to the league. I have him against NIU if we can get him into the Discord and we can hopefully schedule some games with him. Because he looked good at the end of the year. I mean, he took them to 9-4 pre-game before Packers versus Rodgers tonight. Hey, dude, that's why I'm doing this before, so we can watch some SNF. But this is where Gravy's rocking. He didn't go 7-6. The Sun Devils went 7-6 in the Big 12 last year, but didn't have a user, and now they will find themselves with a new coach. Hopefully, we'll have a better year this season. Wow, this is super far behind. Okay, so I gotta be like way ahead. When I skip to the next team, 79 overall, Arizona State. Man, users numbers going up in the Big 12. There's so many users in the Big 12. Auburn, starting out their season, the 1 versus 2. It'd be hard not to schedule these two against each other. Biggs, Beamer, starting off the year at Jordan Hare, and then week 2 against Georgia. That was predetermined in the game for the SEC schedule. Then going to the Bounce House and playing the Ghost of Turtle. Yeah, week 2. And then at North Carolina to end off non-conference. In conference is nothing crazy. Does have a user matchup with Florida, but that's actually the Tigers' only user matchup in the conference. So, a couple of ranked games as we get later on. It is the Ghost of Turtle. And this is going to take a lot longer than I thought if it's going to do this. But that's where we're looking there. Alabama, obviously, last week of the season. Texas, LSU, Tennessee, as well as Missouri and Ole Miss in conference. Tried to give everybody at least 6 home games. I'll say that. I think everybody has at least 6. There might be... Coach G has 4, but that's because he wanted to go at North Carolina and at... Oh, Clemson, by the way. But he wanted to go at Ohio State and at North Carolina. I can change either of those if needed when we get there, but that's what he's looking at for now. Clemson, as you can see, you get a little preview of the bottom of the schedule because I forgot to go back up. I don't need home games. Well, there you go. Texas Tech, he'll play Earl in week 11. More home games than next year. True. Send me to FSU. But then that would give him more home games, so no. At North Carolina State in conference to start off the year. The week 1 was a conference game for Clemson, which is kind of cool. I think it's just in North Carolina. Yeah, it's in NC State. JG, what's good? Welcome in, everybody. We've gone through just Arizona State and Auburn. Clemson heading to Coastal Carolina and then Colorado. So he will be facing off against both those teams, 89 overall. So that's where Ghost will be heading there. A few conference games, user games, I should say, excuse me. Louisville, he'll play at L&N Stadium. And then Florida State, he has to go against Beamer. It is a rivalry game, and then as well as Wake Forest and Smitty. Very similar overall this year. Both teams are 89 overall. And then Texas Tech, obviously, week 11. So a huge game there. Woo, North Carolina coming this year, baby. Yes, sir. The ACC is also packed. Let's go. That's Will Howard. Thanks, JG. Can I get some W's in the chat for JG? On to Colorado. 4 out of the first 5 games, user going against Washington and Randy. 91 overall team, by the way. Sneaky good for the Huskies. Then Colorado State for the rivalry at Folsom Field as well. So Ball Hawk this time. Not sure where that went, but we back. I don't know, but no more ads. And then obviously at Clemson, week 3. So a tough, but me next, please. You're in like 3. Just patience. Patience, young Padawan. And then Houston, week 5 on the road. So a pretty light Big 12 schedule when it comes to users. Only 2. You saw a little bit earlier, but Ghost will go to play Arizona State this season, or will play Arizona State this season. He'll host it. He does play at UCF, which is a pretty good roster from Turtle. OU to the Big 12. Motion denied. Coach, get him. Get him. But that is Colorado's schedule. Week 14 is Army-Navy week. I think in week 1, or year 1 in these dynasties, it's week 15. But I think in this, but for the rest of them, it's 14. So, thank you, brother. So that's where Colorado is looking for their season. Again, if you have any actually big objections, genuinely, if I screwed something up, or you had a game that you, or didn't have a game that you should have had, or vice versa, you have a game and you really don't want it, just please let me know. I mean, this is all fixing. Let's go. Glad to hear it, Ghost. Thanks for jumping on before the game, by the way. Colorado State, 4 non-conference games to start the year, getting a little tune-up game against FCS, then to Colorado for the rivalry game, and then at Tulane. That's going to be a huge game for playoff implications against Bobby, number 25. I believe the Rams are 28th in the AP pool for the preseason, so right there, both teams fighting for that playoff spot. It's going to be in Tulane. Great game. They didn't get to play last year. They were on each other's schedule, but didn't get to play. And then Western Michigan, ATX, took a new job in the offseason. He went to the MAC, and that is who Colorado State will play heading into next season for non-conference. In the conference, obviously, no user games for the Pac-12. Maybe you'll get somebody in a couple years, or maybe we'll just move Colorado State up to the Big 12 or something whenever the Rams get good enough, and they are right on their way, 84 overall. And in conference, biggest competition probably Boise State, and then obviously the Bronze Boot against Wyoming, Washington State, Oregon State, both pretty solid teams. So Pac-12 should be competitive this year. I expect a playoff push for Colorado State. Not saying they're going to get there, but I do think that they'll definitely be one of those teams in that conversation, no doubt about it. I think the Pac-12 looks funky. It's Texas State and all them too. Florida is next. 8-5 last year, 91 overalls across the board. Week 0 against Earl. So a tough season for Earl, but he does host to both of those games. So he plays Florida and Clemson, but he hosts both the games. And then plays Miami and then Florida Boy will play Miami at home. That's a 91 overall versus a 94 overall team. Those are 2 really highly touted powerhouses in this dynasty. Into conference, it gets a little tougher. You saw Coach Biggs' schedule wasn't too threatening in conference, only 1 user game, and obviously you're seeing it right now, number 1 Auburn. But Florida Boy will go on the road to 99 overall Oklahoma, number 11 to start off the year. Then he'll have a home game against Georgia, obviously. Not a home game, excuse me. A neutral site game against Georgia. The Jacksonville game happens every year. and then 13 LSU, 19 Tennessee, and number 3 Florida State to end off the year. Gets 2 of those games at home, though, so they'll have to go through the swamp. Maybe another playoff push this year for Florida. Obviously, a bit of a down year last year, went 6-3 in the SEC. Some of those SEC CPUs are ridiculous, but that is what Florida is working with for this year. And apologize, Beamer, that it took so long for us to get to you. But we are heading to Doak Campbell Stadium now for Florida State. I have you at Auburn, but per Coach Biggs' word, I'm going to switch that. So you will go, or Coach Biggs will come to Doak Campbell Stadium, and you will host your first 5 games, Beam. Auburn to start off the year, then Georgia Southern for a little tune-up game, then Iowa in Doak Campbell for that little home-and-home between Beamer and Gloss. And then conference play is a little rough. There's a pretty rough stretch, as you're seeing right in front of you. You got Miami, number 16 in the country at home. Georgia Tech at home, number 4 at 90 overall. Then at North Carolina, number 6 in the country. Then at 89 overall, Clemson on the road. And then the end of conference isn't horrible. Duke, Pitt, California, Syracuse, all unranked teams. Then, of course, to the swamp against Florida to end off the season. Obviously, that game is locked in, and they will play a rivalry game once again. This is about to be so much fun, man. Oh, Rome, what's good? Hey, there's a cat on my computer, so I'm going to just slide him over. But that is what Florida State is looking like. Rome, we are very close to you, actually, so stick around. We're in alphabetical order so far. I think only one game we've seen with you in it, and it was Clemson. So keep tight, or sit tight. Next is a preseason unranked team, but oh boy, is that going to change in about 2 games. We are heading to Athens for Georgia. 7-6 last year with the CPU, but they have hired one of the hottest coaches in the. Well, that was super gay. Anyways, one of the best coaches in college football, Coach Gomez, coming to Athens, and they will play at Ohio State year 1. Then I will go to Georgia year 2. I think it's very appropriate that cool home and home for 2 guys that jump from like smaller-ish schools to right to Power 5 contenders. So that'll be a cool game. And then at Auburn, of course, week 2 for a conference game. Week 3, North Carolina. They'll go to North Carolina, number 6 in the country. And as you can see, to start off conference play there, Oklahoma in Sanford Stadium. So they'll host the Sooners, who are 11th in the country right now, and of course 99 overall. Then a bye week, and then a pretty light conference schedule. Number 6 UNC is BA. 2 guys doing home and home. All right, man. All right, bro. C-gloss. Close. You are almost up. All right, Rome. We don't need to make this any more of a tender moment than it already is. South Carolina is a funny matchup because they're 18th in the country, but they are a 78 overall. They're 18th in the country. And they went 10-3 last year, but they are a 78 overall team. You'll see it on your ticker at the bottom of your screen. But Georgia then will go in Week 10 to play in Raymond James Stadium against Florida. And then, of course, Georgia Tech at the end of the year. So, conference not looking too bad for the Bulldogs. You know, a couple early wins in the season could propel them right to a top 5 or even a bye. Could propel them to a bye, in the CFP. But, of course, the SEC for the last 2 years, heck, the entire college football world has run through the Tigers at Auburn for the last couple of years. So they are going to have to work hard, but if anybody can do it, it is Coach Gomez. Moving on to the Big 12 again, we'll go to Houston. Opening up the season with a bit of a rivalry game. It's considered a rivalry. You can get a trophy for it, but it's not really a rivalry because I would expect Kenny to blow food out of the water as he will host Rice as a little tune-up game. Then he will play Rome on the road. So that could be a fun game, a nice early season test for Rome in this. And then week 3, a Big 12 game, against Iowa State. And then week 4, NC State. So Segundo will get another chance to play a user in here. He just freshly joined last season. He was from Smitty's Dynasty. We found him out from Smitty's Dynasty, and we'd love to have him here, so we brought him in, and he picked up NC State and brought them to a ranked team year 1, so that was awesome. Colorado, week 5, we saw that already, and then Texas Tech and Arizona State also will play Houston, number 22 Houston this season, but he hosts all 3, so interesting that all 3 of those users in conference have to go through TD-ECU Stadium. Houston versus Texas Tech are always close games. Absolutely, and they're super fun to watch. That was the game last year, or the year 1, it was 49-42 on a last-second touchdown. Incredible games. So I expect more of that in week 9. I think I want to do like a thing this year where I just pick like 2 marquee matchups from each week, or 1 marquee matchup for each week, and just try my absolute best to like make sure it gets scheduled, or when I know it gets scheduled, so that way I can put it on live. Because I mean, we did like 4 total streams last season of all the games and all the user matchups. So I'd like to do more of that. Or if anybody wants to be on live, let me know before you play your game. I don't care if you're playing a CPU. If it's like a relatively big game, we can make it happen. We can get you the quote-unquote national spotlight. Ad. How? You're subscribed. He's subscribed with Prime. I don't know how he got an ad. Chat, should I wait? Should I wait for them to get off the ad? Call me Queso. We can go through Illinois. They'll take a quick look at it as we go. But Illinois week 0 will go to Louisville. So another early season test for the Cards. They get 2 user matchups, I believe, and not NC State. Well, or out of conference user matchups, but we'll see them as we go on. And then Arizona State they will host. We saw that as well. And then this was in the Missouri game was scheduled already. And I left it in because I forgot it's a rivalry game. The Missouri-Illinois is a rivalry game, so I just left it in. And then conference isn't too bad. Only 1 user conference game, and it is Nebraska at the end of the year. Penn State and Oregon are the biggest tests that I'm seeing. Michigan, obviously, and they're going to provide issues. But Illinois might be... he made a playoff push that first year. It could happen again. A couple of early user game wins, get them back into the top 25 conversation, and then a solid run through the Big Ten with a lighter schedule. Could be looking at a playoff push as well from the Fighting Illini. 87 overall, really solid. Obviously, we'll see. Do you like J Love 12+ rushing? I do. Because he's been kind of using his legs a lot more this year. And he'll be running out of the pocket because our O-line is dog water. But speaking of Seagloss, you are up. Opening the year up. 95 overall, by the way. How about that for the Hawkeyes? Number 21 in the country. Went 9-4 last year. 6-3 in the Big Ten. We're opening up week 1 with a bit of a tune-up game against Bowling Green. Then at Iowa State for the rivalry game, the locked rivalry game. And then, obviously, at Florida State for the home against Beamer. In conference, nothing crazy to start. All unranked teams, and then a user matchup with Chef and UCLA. But the back half is where things get crazy. So, obviously, the Nebraska-Illinois rivalry, the Heroes game, will end up as his last game. And then a 91 overall Washington team on the road, and then hosting number 9 Ohio State, and then to finish off the year, number 5 Nebraska on the road. So 4 rivalry games for Iowa this year, and 3 out of their last 4 games are users, and 2 of them are on the road. So a tough road ahead for the Hawkeyes, but if they can start off hot, they can probably end the same way this season. 9 wins last year, looking to get double digits and into the playoffs. Kansas State is next. They were in the conversation for a little bit last year. In the top 25, I think they were as high as 12, but just a rough end of the year was what thwarted their playoff hopes. UCLA on the road to start off the year. Chef versus Rockets, I think, would be a great game. And then Rockets versus Tulane. They kind of play like a little 3-game series. Like UCLA and Kansas State play. Tulane plays Kansas State. And then Tulane and UCLA also play. So they did like a little 3-game series with them. I think they're all very similar in skill level. Texas Tech in conference on the road. And then I have him at Washington as well. So a tough game there for Rockets, but a win there could, again, propel a start of a great season. And then Wheezy, a new member of this dynasty that has just blown up and done super well. I mean, he was one of the last members in the playoff. Beat a long-time Big 12 member, well, this season, I suppose, Earl with Texas Tech. It was a great game. Played a fantastic game against the runner-up in the playoffs. So that'll be a tough game. And then the bounce house, obviously, against UCF and the Ghost of Turtle. So rough schedule, a little bit of a rough schedule for Kansas State, but I think it's pretty front-loaded in this case. A few ranked teams, and then the end kind of floats down and lets them settle in. Rome, I hope you're still here, because Louisville is up next. 86 overall, 7-6 last year without Coach Rome, but now they've got somebody new at the helm, so I'm sure that the coach goal is like win 8 games, and Rome's looking at a lot more than that, or even, it might be even like lower than like 6 games, but Rome might be looking double digits here with this squad. 86 across the board. Illinois, Cincinnati, Houston to start off the year, all in a row and all at home. BG, week 0, go Birds. Week 0 against BG. Week 2 against Kenny. I think that will be a great game. And then week 1, obviously, the rivalry between Cincinnati and Louisville. Go Cards, baby. Clemson in conference as well as Miami. So a couple of pretty tough teams in there. Teddy bringing it home. Oh, yeah, Teddy Bridgewater. That's right. Coach Bridgewater is back with the Cards. And then Clemson in conference user, Miami in conference user, and Wake Forest in conference user. And then, of course, Kentucky to end the year. Rome somehow has 30 home games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He has 7 out of 5 home. He has 7 out of 12 home games. My fault, dude. I think we can switch a user to road. When did I say? Oh, did I? 7 is how it should be. Then what? Okay, whatever. How am I going to give everybody 7 home games? Show the Utes. Hope I didn't get a gauntlet because the team is mid. You kind of got P4 at 7-8 IRL. Yeah, but they're also not playing 2 or 3 Power 4 teams out of conference. This is what he asked for! What are you talking about? This is what y'all asked for. Personally deserves 7 home games after last season. We want smoke. Yeah, Rome didn't do anything wrong. You were allowed to request whatever you want. I'm going to try to go through... You're going down. I'm trying to move through the next couple of these pretty quickly. Rivalry starts now. It was always a rivalry. Please catch up. Okay, Miami is next, 16th in the country, 94 overall with a 96 defense. That Miami defense is coming back. Oklahoma and Florida out of conference will be on the road at Florida. I mean, the Miami-Oklahoma rivalry between JG and Mac was evident that was going to happen. That's like a big turtle game. The only reason I gave him a couple of crappers is because his conference slate is a little tough with Florida State, NC State, and Louisville, all like really solid teams. He does have a 94 overall squad, but there was like not a lot of teams that matched up. Coach G, as a senior member of this league, using foul language like "shut up" is unacceptable. Please ban him. Are you scared of? Are you scared of the? I almost said the Yellow Jackets. Are you scared of the Dogs? Are you scared of the Dogs? Regardless, this is Miami's schedule. And that's how he's going to be looking to start next season, 16th in the country. There was two. Two hard games to start off the year. Nebraska's next, week 0 versus North Carolina. That's what he asked for and what Joe asked for. I tried to schedule a lot less week 0 games this year. I think I legitimately had 7. I think I had 7 last year. And I think that kind of took a while because we spent a lot of time in week 0 and 1. So week 1 is still going to be pretty bad. Like, it's still going to have a lot of user games, but I think week 0 will move a lot quicker. I think there's 2 or 3 games. It's supposed to be in Lincoln this year, Big. Oh, that's true. I think, hang on. Yeah, I'm going to switch that anyway. Wait, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're good. So 4 home games to start off the year, including USC. Finally, we get a USC-Nebraska regular season game again, and then Wisconsin and UCLA between bye weeks, and then Ohio State at home, and then a couple of CPUs. Wait for it to catch up. Indiana is one of them. They'll host Indiana, and then at Rutgers versus Purdue, and then at Illinois. Blessed schedule. Yeah, he didn't do that. Yeah, you guys should see JG's, what you're going to. And then Iowa to end the year. So that Iowa-Nebraska game is heating up every year. I had to go to Lincoln 2 years and never got the return trip. I mean, I have to go to Lincoln too. I think Ohio State was in Lincoln last year. Is that 3 road games? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 8 home games. I don't remember who has more. If it was Texas Tech or North Carolina. But that's what I mean. Is like, now one of these two at the top would have 5 home games. And sue me, JG, your schedule's kind of screwed up. So, oh yeah, I forgot. OU and Nebraska actually is a rivalry in the game. Old Big 12 days. Since Earl has an 84 overall team, he can go to Earl. How about that? Sounds like 7 road games. Have Nebraska go to UNC. Well, actually, we can check North Carolina right now. But that was Nebraska's schedule. Hello? Oh, no, you're not doing this. It's already delayed enough as it is. Joe always wants a gauntlet, so I always feel... Stephanie. So I always want to give him one game where he can, like, look at his team, like a Charlotte. So I gave him that, and then at Nebraska, because then he goes against Georgia, then against Auburn, then against 89 overall Wake Forest. 2 games later, number 3 Wake Sounds. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, this man just is addicted to competition. It's crazy. Give Joe South Carolina week 1. No! Why? Why? Is that a rivalry? North Carolina and South Carolina should be a rivalry. They are bad. Alright, yeah, screw it. He can knock out a... Yeah, he can knock out a top 25 team right out the gate, too. Yeah. There's their overall, in case anybody was wondering, 76, 74, and 81. So we'll do that. So we'll stick with that rivalry. They bicker over who's Carolina every week. What does that mean? I don't know. I mean, SC is obviously the better team this year, at least. But no, I mean, not that that's saying much. They're still bad, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I just call Carolina. I call Carolina, North Carolina, Carolina, because, yes, sir. Let's go. Love you, GB. I call North Carolina Carolina because I'm a big Duke fan, and we play in basketball every year. And South Carolina's basketball team is usually pretty mid. Just hillbillies. East is garbage. Go Duke. You're a Duke fan? Oh, GG. You have no idea how happy I am to hear that. Go Blue Devils, man. Oh, so that was North Carolina's schedule. Let's go, dude. I'm so glad he's a Duke fan. Oh, Duke, mother... You know what I'm saying? I mean, in football, yes. I'll give you that. Grew up in the triangle. That's sick. That is super sick, JG. JG just shot up in the vibes ranking. He's like number 2. Who's Pat Bev? Utah! The Utes! That's what he said. How many teams do we have left? Oh my goodness. Okay, rapid fire. Rapid fire the last few teams. This is insane. Wheeze. NC State. Clemson, Arizona. Couple of tune-up games because conference looks terrible. With 3 ranked user games at the end of the year. Miami, Wake Forest, and North Carolina. One of which is on the road. So East Carolina and Toledo. Also, he gets the rivalry game with East Carolina, so that's why those games are there. This next guy is not necessarily in the league yet. Well, he's in the league. But he is in the league. He's just not in the Dynasty yet. Or he's not in the Discord yet. The Poop Man is back, and I owe him more money. Oh, goodness. God bless the schedule that light. He is also a 73 overall team, and I can't give him users. I gave him 1 because I'm hoping... Segundo, he got the Discord invite. He acknowledged it on PSN. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Dude, Segundo, thank you so much. This is his schedule for the year. Hopefully we can get him in before Week 8 to play Arizona State. Otherwise, he is just Mountain West, which is because he's NIU, whatever. Thank you again so much for that. That helps us out. Can I play NIU? No! Maybe next year. Next year. Who is that dude? Like, who is he here from? No worries. No, like I don't know how he got in. He's just here. Next year, NIU. G. OH. Tune-up game week 0 against Ohio, then Georgia, and then Utah on the road. So I have a pretty tough end of the year schedule because I go 10 Penn State, Utah, Nebraska, Oregon, then a bye week, then Iowa, Michigan State, Michigan. He joined and played well. Yeah, I mean, he's great. Like, he won like 70-14 against the CPU, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I mean, with a 60-something overall team, yeah, he's pretty good. So that is the Bucs schedule this year. It says 89, but I think I'm going to be closer to like a 90+. Why should we say bye, but it's... They're all the buys are locked, Twin. Like, once you pick the game, once it, like, fills up, it, like, locks. Like, if I put this as a buy, they would all open up. Like, if I put week 1 or week 0 as a buy, it would open back up. But they lock. Like, you'll see they're all locked. He got 12 games on his schedule. Yeah, yes, exactly. Okay, it's that time now because we're going to look at this absolute gauntlet. At Miami, at Nebraska, at South Carolina, versus Alabama, at Georgia, at Texas, at 12 Arkansas. Ole Miss is the most favorable game on this schedule, and it's on the road. Florida, he gets that home and home. Notre Dame, because that was a good CPU that he could play. Where are the home games? You are supposed to be in Miami and in Nebraska. I can't do any better than what the game tells you. This is not on me. And then LSU to end the year. This is a potential 10 ranked matchups for Oklahoma. Pretty nuts. Yeah, his schedule is ridiculous. So bro's getting fired. No, he's not. He's going to make the playoffs. Temple will go to ATX to start the year. He asked to be at Pittsburgh and versus Buffalo, so that is why Bench has those games. A couple of American games, and then he'll go Power 4. I need y'all to beat up on Ole Miss so I can jump in there 2 years when Joel graduates. That would be sick. UCLA. JG living on the edge. UCLA could be a fun game between Chef and Bench. It always was in the last game. I think it'll be in this game. And then a game against Bobby to end the year. It was a movie when they played earlier in the Dynasty, so I'm hoping it will be again because it is a conference game as well. Texas Tech starting off the year, Florida and Nebraska, both at home. Then a couple conference games, has Utah and Kansas State users back-to-back. Then to end the season, my recruiting is fraud. No home games for That's true. Like, yeah, that sucks. Do you genuinely want to go, like, do you want to host both your away games again? Like, your out of conference? I mean, genuinely. It's like, I'm screwing you if I don't. And then Houston at the end of the year. Clemson could be a fun game near the end of the year. It could be like a sneaky, like, trap game. And then Kansas, Iowa State to end. That won't help too early. That's true. Jeez. Okay, still a few to go. So let's, again, hurry up. So Tulane is next, and they have Temple at the end of the year. We knew that. Bobby's out of conference is kind of a cool game. I always liked scheduling the group of fives because it's cool to like find good matchups. Tune-up game against La Tech in Ullman, and then to Kansas State in Manhattan. Then Colorado State and Ball Hawk, and then at Chef. Those two go way back, so it'll be really fun. You don't need to show WMU. He's not here. Oh, okay. We'll go to UM, make big comeback. His 7 home games. Brian Kelly just got fired for anyone that cares. That's crazy. I mean, he probably should have been, but that's crazy. Van's supposed to be 6 minutes ago. Florida boy ain't gonna like this. Florida boy ain't even here. I'm taking the LSU job in case anybody's wondering. So that was Tulane. I don't think UCLA is here. I'll still show everybody's schedule just because it's like, you know, part of it. UCLA week 1, Kansas State, and then Washington in conference should be a fun matchup. And then 3 straight, actually, that's 5 straight user games to start out the year. Tulane, Iowa, Nebraska. So that's a tough schedule. Bikak. What? Chucky LSU. Nah, Gruden. Just kidding. Temple, obviously, week 9, and then a couple of tough games versus Penn State, and then all the way out to Eugene to play Oregon. Not surprised that they're doing that, but... And then USC on the road, number 2. Brian Kelly killed again. Jesus. I'm going to get demonetized just for saying that. USC is next, and to be honest, Penguin got what he asked for. Week 1, he's going to Hawaii to play in Honolulu, and then he'll host Utah. So yeah, he does have a bit of a gauntlet. I apologize. He actually did not know about that. I think I have heard about that, to be honest. I don't entirely remember. And then he'll get his rematch with Bink in Memorial Stadium. Then Washington, him and Randy go way back as well, so that's cool. And then one ranked team the rest of the way. So, yeah, real tough schedule for USC this year. That's rough. I don't know how he's going to get through that with a 99 overall team. Utah is next. Wheezy, you've waited all this time, man. Utah, week 1 gave you a rivalry game against Utah State for a little tune-up, so you're not entirely cooked. And then USC, then you get Texas Tech on the road, Arizona State on the road. Both of these matchups are pretty evenly matched overall-wise, to be honest. And then Ohio State at the end of the year. End of the year schedule 99. What's 99? Oh, USC. Yeah, I thought Utah's overall would be higher. Can we switch that game? Sure. I don't know who you want though because there's not really any other room for users. And to be honest, Peg, when you're not going to get comp for anybody. You're not going to get comp from anybody other than what elite CPUs are there. Oh my god, this dude wants to walk to the playoffs. LSU is probably the most elite. And they are a 96 overall, I believe. 96 is across the board for LSU. Number 13 in the country. Yay or nay? Give him GT, add GT. Schedule Georgia Southern. That'll give him the biggest scare possible. What overall is GT? 90. Send him to Death Valley. I mean, he kind of should go to Death Valley. He has 3 in-conference users, and none of them are ranked. All right. Good on you, Penguin. That is a game that nobody would want to play. I'm going to give you Hawaii at home, then, for a tune-up game. Unless you really do want to go to Honolulu. I feel that's more fair than Wheezy. I mean, yeah, 96 overall team versus a 99 overall team on the road. It's going to be tough. Give me Hawaii. I was going to say, yeah, that way you can have your tune-up game and you have your home game. So you're back to 6 and 6. Utah we already saw, but now we need to find a replacement for Utah. Plus USC and LSU have recent history. They do. That is very true. Miller Moss versus Nuss. Who do you want, Wheezy? Anybody crazy? Oh, we are not moving on that screen. That's crazy. Why is it not going? There we go. Wheezy, who do you want? Pat Bev fan. You pretty much have pull of anyone. I'll take tough CPU against other. Yeah, you're probably not gonna get a user this late. But okay, tough CPU. Arkansas is 86 overall, right around your tough. What? OU. 99 overall OU. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Arkansas is an 86 overall. They're a CPU. They're 12th in the country. So that could be a good game. As for other ranked CPU, again, LSU, give them Mark. Alright, yeah, Arkansas seems fine. We had a user that was Arkansas and he just left, but now they're a CPU, so he can go on the road to Arkansas. There we go. Alright, then pretty rough Big 12 schedule with Texas Tech, Arizona State, all there in a row, but cool. Alright, Wake. Got everything he asked for. His schedule was right down the middle. Weeks 0 through 4. Please. Okay, there we go. Bryce Underwood went to Arkansas. Oh, there you go. Wait, actually? Like, IRL? Oh, in the game, yeah. All due respect, Weezy, because you're a heck of a user, that would not have been fair. What do you mean? What wouldn't have been fair? Playing 99 overall USC on the road? Probably not. Penn State hosting, and then Florida Atlantic Owls. I've got a score to schedule. I know what you meant, but score to schedule. And then Big House, and then hosting 83 overall 90. I know exactly. And then Wisconsin. So straight 0 through 4. He'll have byes week 6 and 11. A pretty tough conference slate with North Carolina, but he does host the game. And then he'll play at Clemson later in the year as well as hosting NC State and Segundo. And then he'll play at Louisville near the end of the year. And then SMU, which has kind of become a little rivalry the last couple of years, which has been fun. They will end the year at Wake Forest. Last two, we are about ready to get there in advance. ACC looks fun this year. They all look fun, dude. Big 12 looks super fun. Washington on the road at Colorado to start off the year. Then UCLA in conference. Apple Cup, week 3. Week 4, USC. And then Penn State. Kansas State out of conference. Couple of, after I did training, I knew I'd have to see. Yeah. Couple of conference CPUs as well as Michigan on the road in the Big House. Iowa at home. And then CPUs to end out the year with a game against Oregon to wrap it up, the rivalry there. Last team, Western Michigan Broncos. We have Temple to start off the year, Toledo in conference and FCS school, and then at Colorado State. Then a bunch of MAC teams, and then at the end of the year, I threw on just a pretty easy opponent since he's taken over a team that has little to nothing. He'll play UTEP, 5-7 last year. So that is it. That is the schedules. Changes have been made. We will save those. If anybody has any questions, let me know. But otherwise, thank you for watching this year's schedule release. Good luck to everybody, and go IceBox. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you in week 0.